Emma. I stood, turning my back to the cliff. I wouldn't watch the fall. Death would rise to greet me, but I wouldn't look him in the face. Instead, I would stare into the clear blue sky. I steeled myself, placing my heels along the sharp edge of the rock. As I prepared to lean into death's embrace, a glint of light reflected off something in the grass. The light flickered, like a switch being turned on and off. I stepped away from the ledge. As I walked across the short distance, I spotted a large glass bottle. I lifted it to my face, straining to focus my eyes against the sunlight. The light came from inside it. It's got to be a firefly, I thought to myself as I picked it up. I peered through the dirty bottle, surprised to see a tiny human face stared back at me, and he was pissed. I set the bottle back down, laughing at just how ridiculous my life had become. Why shouldn't my death be equally outrageous? Even at the edge of death, I'm still seeing fairies. I really am crazy, I muttered. The bottle shook with the force of the tiny fist of its inner walls. He was fuming. Okay, chill, I whispered to the creature. If I let you out, will you calm down? The creature stepped back from the edge and crossed his tiny arms. I twisted the cap from the bottle, setting it on the thick grass. The fairy crawled out from the bottle, quickly becoming a small ball of light before disappearing into the bush. You're welcome, I spat. As I said it, the leaves shuddered. My eyes went wide as the tiny being grew. The small ball of light dimmed, revealing a man that appeared human. My breath caught in my throat as he stood to his full height. I had always been taller than everyone else. Even Sam had looked up at me, but not this guy. I laughed at my own ridiculous illusion. He looked like an 80s goth model. His black jeans fit tight against his long legs. Wide boots clunked against the ground, stirring the air around him. A long black trench coat fell along his sides. His long, dark blonde hair tied back in a tight braid, exposing his pointed ears. Small strands drifted in the wind, framing his angular face. I admired his sun-kissed glow as he looked over at me. I continued to take in his features, marveling at my own imagination. His powerful jaw and broad eyebrows were attractive, but for some reason the thought of his lips near mine repulsed me. It was those eyes that stopped my heart. I stared into his eyes. They were so much like mine. Maybe my mind wasn't so creative after all. I had simply created a mirror image of myself. I shuddered at the thought. Growing up, local kids often teased me. Not only was I the crazy girl who saw Fae, they often called me the witch because of the small golden splotch in one of my otherwise ice blue eyes. They teased that it glowed when I was angry or upset. His eyes were the same blue, but with the golden fleck in his right eye. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. I pressed my right hand against my chest. Was my heart even beating? His cold eyes bored into me. In a few quick strides he crossed the distance, drawing a massive sword from under his coat. He had the tip pressed into my throat before I could blink.